Let me help you answer the most important question in your life.
Where I put my car keys? How can I get out of doing housework? Wait, how can I simultaneously make videos while being drunk? I think genetically modified skeptic might know the answer to that one.
Fuck you.
Come with me. Imagine waking up on an abandoned island one morning. You don't know where you are, how you got here, or why you're here. What would you do? Like most of us, the most obvious thing would be to first find out answers to these questions.
Hell no. After the initial confusion, I'd start looking for a fresh water source. I'd start building a camp, gathering food, figuring out a way to start a fire, and building a shelter. Once I had attained those things, I'd start working on distress signals, and I'd get to work mapping the island I was on. However, I can already tell you're leading us down the path of a crappy analogy, which you're going to use to apologize for your superstitious religious beliefs.
You would search far and wide for clues and signs and anything that can perhaps guide you towards the right direction.
Anyone? Where am I?
It sounds like the obvious thing to do, right?
Right? Wrong.
I hope I never have the misfortune of being trapped on an island with you. I don't think you'd last long. The obvious thing to do would be to look after the details that would keep you alive. Once that's complete, you could devote some time to the other concerns you mention here.
The most common sense option? Well, you'd actually be surprised. You see, there's really little difference between waking up here and waking up here on planet Earth.
On planet Earth? Was the island on another planet? Because you failed to mention that interesting little bit previously. And what do you mean that there's no difference between waking up on a desert island and waking up in a city? On a desert island, you're not surrounded by people. You don't have access to luxuries or modern conveniences. You have to worry about the necessities of life. In other words, there is a huge difference.
It's a huge problem.
It's a huge problem. The huge problem. That is a huge problem.
Between waking up on a desert island and waking up in a modern city. Are you kidding me right now?
In both cases, we don't know how we got here, where exactly we are, and most importantly, why we're here. So why the difference in response?
We have a very good idea of why we're here and how we arrived. A mommy and a daddy got together one day, and they took their clothes off and, well, you look like an adult. I'm sure you can figure the rest out on your own. The point is that your analogy is complete garbage. There's a huge difference between waking up on a desert island and waking up in a city. We do know exactly how we got here, and why we're here is something each of us have to answer on their own. For example, judging by your video collection, you've decided that part of your reason for existing is to serve an immaterial supernatural being. I doubt that's your entire purpose. I mean, you likely have family, friends, a career, and maybe some hobbies that all help to round out your purpose in life. My purpose in life doesn't include an afterlife or any sort of deity. Unlike you, I don't see any evidence for your God, and so I construct my purpose around things in the real world.
I mean, why is it perfectly understandable to search for answers here, but completely inappropriate to search for answers here? Strange, isn't it?
What's strange about it? If I'm in a survival situation, the last thing I'm doing is sitting around contemplating my purpose in life. That's something you do when you have the luxury of time. If I'm scraping to survive, I wouldn't have time to read books, make YouTube videos, or sit around wondering about my place in the world. I do these things now because I was lucky enough to have been born in a first world country. I don't currently have to worry about where I'm going to get my next meal. I don't currently worry about freezing to death outside. I live in a heated house with food in the fridge and all of the modern conveniences commonly owned by the majority of people in Canada. Now, I have lived on the street, and I can tell you it's not fun. I wasn't making YouTube videos. I was trying to get enough food to take the edge off the gnawing hunger in my guts. I was trying to find a safe, warm place to lay my head. Those were my immediate concerns. And I guarantee you that if you found yourself in that situation, you'd quickly come to the realization that survival is your number one purpose at that point in time. The rest can wait until later.
Well, let's take this a bit further.
Yes, what we need now is to take a garbage analogy and make it even worse. Go on then.
Let's say you continue walking along this abandoned island, and to your relief, you finally find someone that can actually help you.
Hey! What am I doing here?
Well, what if he's not interested?
How did I get here? I just woke up. I just woke up here.
So did I. What's...
I would immediately realize the well-dressed man who is wasting daylight hours is likely going to die. Why is one guy dressed shabbily and the other sitting around listening to headphones? What the hell sort of bizarre universe is this? I love how headphone guy just coolly says, well, yeah, I just dropped from the sky too. What's the matter? Nothing about this video makes sense. Who wrote this steaming pile of crap and thought it would be convincing?
What's the matter?
How would that make you feel? Upset? Bewildered? Confused? I mean, what could possibly be more important than this? Well, what if I was to tell you that this happens almost every single day? Where we have 101 unanswered questions on life, and most of us are simply uninterested. We're busy, whether it's in work, family, wealth, fashion, entertainment, or catching up with the latest technology.
Did you hear all of those things you just listed? Those are the things that help give some people their purpose in life. You know, family, earning wealth to support that family, children, parenting concerns, balancing work and family life, those sorts of things.
It's not to say that these things are wrong, but surely they're not more important than answering the most important question in life, our purpose. You see, we can ignore all of this if we wanted to. I mean, no matter how important these questions are, at the end of the day, no one's forcing us to answer these questions. But there is one last thing.
Before you jump into the inevitable threat of eternal damnation and torture, I just wanted to point out that not knowing something doesn't mean we should just make up some sort of story to give our lives meaning. I don't immediately jump to the conclusion that, say, my dead ancestors have been taken to the realm of the invisible pink dragon, and then decide my life should revolve around pleasing them and it. I don't think the storm god wants me to electrocute myself every few hours to please it. And I also don't decide that because I feel my life needs even more meaning, that I need to kneel in different directions throughout the day to please an invisible entity.
Our time here is limited. And the reality is, no one knows when, where, or how we're going to leave this world. But we will have to leave one day. And whether we like it or not, when we do leave this world, we will have no choice left but to confront these questions. And until then, would we still want to ignore this question?
The evidence points towards you not worrying about anything once you die. I see no reason to believe that your consciousness will survive the death of your brain. So you're right, I won't be able to ignore or acknowledge those questions. It will be the same as when I didn't worry about the extinction of the dinosaurs.
Now, I don't plan on enlightening you with your purpose in this very short video, but I can at least ask you to start searching and start thinking about your purpose today. You'll get there.
إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل.
I have thought about it, and your God isn't believable. Your holy book makes no sense, and your arguments for its existence are horrible. Thanks for watching, take care, and cheers.
The earth existed before there were stars. The moon emits light and was split into parts. Elephants turned into chewed grass by stones dropped from birds. These are a few of Quran's perfect words. Millennia-old men at the time of the flood. Your body was fashioned from one clot of blood. No evolution, but men turned to apes. In the Quran you will find no mistake.